So now what do I do? Well, I guess there's only one thing. There's something I'd like to know. Are you real? Can you feel?
Hi friends, I'd love to share with you guys my new deck, the Sacred She Tarot. Absolutely wonderful, and I can't wait to get into these cards. I saw them on Amazon and that's where I got them. I'll put the link below. Let us take a look at what these cards are about. So as usual, we can take this opportunity to energetically charge the cards for future readings. If you're part of this community, if you're new to this channel, welcome. And I can't wait to get into your reading. So we'll finish off with a reading with these cards. Okay. Usually I just call it like a mini reading, but I don't know how many. A lot of times they are, or whatever pulls through from spirit, what you're needing to hear. Okay. So the Sacred She Tarot, and it says Ma Deva Padma. So it's the creator of the Osho Zen Tarot, which I absolutely love, by the way, and the Tao Oracle. All right, so how many cards are in here? It says 78. Wow, so a lot of cards, a lot of bang for your buck. Look at this guidebook. Beautiful, the Sacred She Tarot book. Oh, tarot. I was thinking oracle is what I was really thinking because of the way that these cards are laid out. So that would explain why there's 78 cards. But they're all sort of unique. Like, for example, this is 8 separations. So this would be swords? No, cups. So 8 cups, just a separation here. So you kind of have to know your tarot to know what you're sort of picking up. So this 13 would be a queen. This is a Queen of Wands. It's depicted here with the cheetah. Okay. Beautiful. So tarot, not oracle. So the cards are actually way smaller than I thought, but that would be my own sort of mind, putting an image in my mind about how big I thought these cards would be. So they're actually standard size, which is good because I actually don't like big cards, only because they're hard to do spreads, especially on the channel, to fit them all here. So perfect size. Here's the back side. Absolutely gorgeous. Has a matte finish, quite soft. Okay, let's take a look at these cards, shall we? So we start with the Fool, which is known as the beginning. So would I recommend these for beginners? Probably not necessarily, because the traditional meanings of the, let's say, the Rider-Smith Tarot is a little bit lost when you're just finally learning. So these might be a little challenging, okay? But so let me just make sure I'm in frame here. Okay, so as long as the light isn't casting shadows, I think I might have to read it from here. Okay, so we have the Fool. And number 1, Alchemy, so this would be the Magician. The High Priestess is the Unknowable. Wow. Empress is the Mother Nature. That's what's on the box. And we have the Emperor, known as Order. The Hierophant is the Wisdom Keeper. Love is the Lovers. And we have the Chariot with the Turning Point. And Compassion, which would be the Strength card. Beautiful. That's adorable. I love this. Hermit with Solitude. Wheel of Fortune with Change. And the the Justice with Balancing. Hangman with the Waking Up. The Death card with Transitioning. Wow. And we have the Devil, but it says Karma. Beautiful. Is it the Devil? No. Temperance. Not the Devil. Temperance. Karma. The Devil. Repression. Oh my goodness. Look at this Devil card. Wowzers. Okay. Tower. Crisis. And the Star with Understanding. Moon with anxiety, Sun with joy, and Judgment with liberation, and finally the World with wisdom. And now we're in the Pentacle suit. So Roots, beautiful, Ace of Pentacles. And 2 Pentacles, Be Here Now. Cooperation, 3 Pentacles, look at this beautiful sunflower. And 4 Pentacles, Consuming. 5 Pentacles, Perseverance. Wow. 6 Pentacles, Generosity. 7 Pentacles, Timing. Labor of Love with the 8 Pentacles. 9 Pentacles, Satisfaction. 10 Pentacle with Privilege. And finally we have the Page, which says Honesty. And the Knight of Pentacles says Explore. And the Queen of Pentacles with Support. And the King of Pentacles with Respect. That's absolutely gorgeous. I love these cards. So now we're looking at the suit of fire, which is Wands. Inspiration with the Ace of Wands. Focus, 2 Wands. Wow. 3 Wands with Refresh. Look at that card. Oh my goodness. 4 Wands, Dance. 5 Wands, Competition. 6 Wands with Triumph. 7 Wands, Adaptability. 8 Wands, Confidence. 9 Wands with Resistance. 10 Wands, Overload. Wow, look at this card. Page of Wands, Self-Expression. And the Knight of Wands with Intention. And finally the Queen and the King of Wands with spontaneity and integrity. With the Queen and King of Wands. And now we have Swords. So Ace of Swords with Clarity. 2 Swords with Restraint. 3 Swords with Heartbreak. 4 Swords with Rest. 5 Swords with Arrogance. 6 Swords with Departure. 7 Swords with Deception. Look at that, a sheep and wolf in sheep's clothing. This deck is amazing. I love this deck. 8 of Swords with Blame. 9 Swords with Fear. 10 Swords, Grief. And the Page of Swords, Scrutiny. Knight of Swords, Determination. The Queen of Swords with Perfection. And the King of Swords with Power. Oh my goodness. And then Cups. So we have Flow with the Ace of Cups. 2 Cups, Union. 3 Cups, Harmony. 4 Cups with Frozen. 5 Cups with Disappointment. 6 Cups with Passion. 7 Cups, Choices. 8 Cups, Separation. 9 Cups, Indulgence. And 10 Cups, Gratitude. Page of Cups, Imagination. The Knight of Cups with a Voyager. The Queen, I thought there was only one card. I'm like, we're missing. The Queen of Cups and the King of Cups with Intuition and Dreamweaver. Oh my goodness. Isn't that beautiful? So, absolutely, for whatever reason, I had it in my mind these were Oracle cards because of the words. And I think actually, if you are beginning tarot, it might actually not be bad to start with these because it does keep the traditional feel and meaning for each card. So it could be easier to read that way, but I don't know. I think it's a preference thing, you know? It's a preference thing, but I love these cards. So what are we doing? Let's take a look at a message for you guys. Okay, collective message for the viewer, whoever's tapped into this video, what you're needing to hear right here, right now, Spirit. Timeless reading for the collective who's tapped into this reading. What do they need to know at this time? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of the collective. Thank you so much, collective, for watching this video, liking, sharing, subscribing to my channel. It is all appreciated. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, these cards are like, I don't know, right now, like a 15. I love them a lot. So, they are a little bowed, though, and so a little difficult to shuffle. And I hate cards that are bowed, but I think it's the humidity with certain cardstock that makes it bow. Okay, imagery is absolutely gorgeous. So, what's the messaging here for the collective? I will be reading reversals. So, we have compassion. This was the strength card. In reverse, Leo energy. Clear and concise message for the collective. Oh, what do they need to know? We have the Knight of Swords with Explore. And that's in reverse. And then we have the Page of Cups with Imagination in reverse. And this isn't swords. I'm so sorry. This is pentacles. And we know because it's green. Okay, green is pentacles. And this is cups. This is blue. And the purple here is the major arcana. Okay, I just sort of realized this. So we have the the Knight of Pentacles in reverse and the Page of Cups in reverse. And we have the Strength card, and that's also in reverse. And you guys saw me sort of shuffle and get them all in every which way because I do feel called to pick up reversals here. Okay, although I will be reading it intuitively. Why is the Strength card here? We have Fear with the 9 swords. So swords is this gray energy. Transitioning. So major arcana, this is the Death card, Scorpio. Why is this 9 pentacles in reverse? We have anxiety here, and that is the Moon in reverse. And finally, why is this Page of Cups here in reverse? 5 wands with competition. What's at the bottom of the deck? Union, 2 cups. Oh my goodness. And the Queen of Swords under that, which is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And under that, we have a turning point, which is the Chariot, and it is in reverse, Cancer energy. Okay. What's going on here? Let me tap into this energy and read exactly what I feel is coming through here, okay? Okay, this is your energy or someone around you. Okay, but it's really felt or in the energy field. So you could apply it to whomever this is, if it's you or someone around you. I only feel sort of one energy, and they're under a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress. They're in their minds. And they're in their minds a lot because they're going through a natural transition, a natural release, a natural transformation. These transformations happen whether we like them or not, whether we're ready or not, or circumstances change. Things fall away. We outgrow things, ideas. Things have to be released that no longer work. And sometimes we're really attached, and sometimes we have stories and identities built into those things. So there's something that is being released. Maybe something has ended or is coming to its natural conclusion. And so we could have a lot of anxiety about this shift. What's going to happen? You know, what's going to happen during the transition? What's going to be in the other side of this? What's going to happen if I release this thing? Can I release this thing? This is like the what ifs, woulda, coulda, shouldas, living in the past and fearing what's going to happen in the future. We're everywhere, but not in the present moment with this 9 swords. Someone's up at night stressing out about changes, a change in their world that's going on that needs to happen or that is happening whether they like it or not. There's some major shift. Okay. And I do feel like somebody here might feel like they're not ready. And they're like, oh shit, like, can I even go through with this shift? Can I even have the courage to face this? Very fearful and anxious about what this means for me. And it would require something of me that I don't know. Specifically, this is compassion. So maybe I'm being very hard on myself. We see the 5 wands. This is about inner conflict. So whatever this mind dialogue is building the fears. You know, I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not confident enough. Maybe I'm too weak. Maybe I don't know. There's a lot of negative self-talk that I feel here. And so Spirit is really talking about having compassion. There's a lot of fear right now in this moon. And so with the moon and this fear, 9 swords and the moon side by side to me is a dark night of the soul. It's really about the fears and the anxiety are really loud and driving a lot of the agenda or a lot of the mind speak. It could be holding us back. Okay, and so we're working through the biggest fears, and these big fears are all really illusions because we build up the worst scenarios that aren't necessarily true. Someone's working through this, I feel. Somebody could have certainly been held back from their dreams or from something here. Okay, so there's a need to be compassionate, and I feel like this was getting in the way of something manifesting in the 3D, like a legitimate opportunity. And so it's like, I can't move forward with this legitimate opportunity that would be abundant. Okay, because a pentacle is the real deal. It's a real offer. It's a real manifestation. It's a real opportunity for something of a blessing. Okay, which this is the Knight of Pentacles, not the Page. I keep calling it something that it's not. It's the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so I'm stuck here and it's an obstacle. Look at this mountain, because all I'm seeing are the obstacles through the lens that I'm wearing. And so the lens I'm wearing right now is, I'm not good enough. What if it doesn't? The woulda, coulda, shouldas. I'm seeing magnifying the biggest fears. It's creating a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress. And so I'm very conflicted here. And maybe I'm conflicted about a choice because I am seeing these 2. Okay, and there's a 2 here, and 2s are about choices, although this is 2 cups and it says union. So a choice in an emotional decision. It could involve another person with the 2. Relationship, a choice about coming together, a choice about union, a choice about harmony. What's going to create balance? How must I engage to create emotional harmony and balance with another here? It might require me to do something in regards to letting something go or allowing something to happen. But all I see is the obstacle. And so I'm blocked here and I'm stuck here. And so Spirit's really talking about this Page of Cups being sort of the key. The Page of Cups is us opening our heart space, us allowing our imagination to go there, to explore. Okay, the ship's talking about movement, and so there might be a calling to move, but the movement would require us to be open in the heart space, to imagine the possibilities. But all we're really maybe seeing here are the obstacles and the what can't happen and what might happen that might be not good, at the expense of allowing ourselves to open our heart space. But also, this could be an emotional immaturity here. You know, Page here could certainly be like, I'm not experienced enough in order to bring a certain level of balance or equality here to this relationship or to this situation that would require a certain emotional cup for me. I'm not that. But again, this is self-speak. I'm not that because why? Because I'm telling myself this. Is that compassionate? No. Am I giving into my fears? Yes. Am I held back? Most likely. Things are stuck? Yes. Because all I'm seeing is the obstacle. What won't work? What hasn't worked? Why I'm going to fail? And then I'm looking at this transformation or this transitioning period where I have to be reborn, or maybe I have to be exposed like this baby, vulnerable, innocent, open to learning. And I'm like resisting, or I'm just fearful of it. I don't see resistance so much as I see fear, and I do see a little bit of a cowardly energy, but it's because of the self-speak, you know, and it's creating this slowness and this block. And so underneath all this, we see the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords could belong to the same person. I'm not sure yet, okay, because we see 2 cups. So I do feel this is about a relationship or a situation in which another is involved. Doesn't have to be, you know, an intimate sexual lover's relationship, but it's definitely a relationship. We are in relationship with everyone and everything. Okay, so there's a someone or something that I'm is calling me to do something out of my comfort zone, requiring me to release something or change something or accept something. And this is a truth. And so this Queen of Swords could certainly be the energy underneath is like, I'm going to seek the truth anyway. I'm going to work on getting clarity. Okay, but this is perfection. And so I am really feeling like the biggest fear this person has, whether this is you or whoever I'm tapped into, is the mind story they're telling themselves that they believe to be truth and clarity, that they have to act and be perfect. And so if they're feeling a little inexperienced, if they're feeling blocked, if they're feeling incapable, if they're feeling too much fear about succeeding because it has to be perfect, this is the mountain. This is what's making it stall out. Okay. And so I'm kind of getting a little bit of a mixture energy of this sort of being this person's mindset is like, I still want to get clear, but my understanding right now is that I have to be perfect, or it has to be perfect before I act, or there must be perfection in me showing up here. Otherwise, it's going to fail. Otherwise, why even bother? Otherwise, like, oh, what will happen? What will happen? I can't sleep until I know what happens. So there's an imbalance, and there's a stuck energy here, and somebody holding themselves back and not facing their fears and leaning into their courage to show up and to maybe, offer themselves emotionally. Fear of vulnerability, fear of stepping forward, fear of opening the hearts, fear of even maybe a creative project and like pursuing the opportunity and putting our heart out there, like our work. Like, let's say you have a creative pursuit and it's like, oh, everyone's going to laugh at my first video, or what if I fail? Like, we're really, really like scared of like disappointing or not living up to what we believe in our mind. And so there might be a lot of competition in that field, So the inner critic is creating all sorts of noise and conflict and creating a stoppage and a balance. Okay, now if this is someone else, it's like maybe someone else is, again, apply whoever you are. Could be saying, I want truth and clarity. And whoever you're working with is saying, no, like what you're expecting is perfection. And so we have to know, do we have realistic expectations? Are we being compassionate? Because we could be dealing with someone who is lacking compassion and is only seeing one sort of track mind. This is what's ideal. This is what's perfect. It's this or nothing. Is that compassionate? No, it's not. And so it doesn't mean settle. It means, are we being realistic, or are we looking for perfection? Okay, this would be a shadow that needs integration. If we're expecting perfection, we've got shadows. And as long as we have shadows, things are imbalanced. As long as we have shadows, things might get stalled out. As long as we have shadows, things aren't moving in the right direction and we're not winning with the universe. We're experiencing the opposite. So there's a chance to have success and win with the universe once there's balance. There is one way forward, and it's through working with the universe. Okay, I'm also feeling like things could be moving really fast for someone, whichever. I think it's the person with anxiety. What if it moves too fast? What if it's completely out of my control? What if I can't stop this thing? It's really, I feel this person wants control. Someone like this is fearing letting the wheel sort of be given to someone else, and then I have no control. That's an illusion that they ever had control in the first place. It's like, wow, it's too fast. And then I don't know what to do. And then I'm out of my elements because I'm a beginner and I'm a novice and I don't understand. And then I'm in the deep end competing with the big boys, or being expected to show up or emotionally go in these navigating waters that I've never experienced before. How do I handle that? I must be perfect. It must be this. It must be that. No, that's a projection of the fear saying it has to be these things. That's my belief. That's the moonlight. I'm looking out the window, creating all of these stories about what it has to be because the moon is casting all these shadows. That's not a reality. We have to see through the moonlight. That's just the fear talking, saying it has to be this and it has to be that. And then we make these mountains out of molehills, and then that's all we see, and we can't move beyond the mountain. And so we're stuck. Okay. And so Spirit's really saying, do we have compassion? Are we expecting perfection? Are we looking at ourselves through the lens of what we cannot be and what we think we are, inexperienced, emotionally not ready or available or incapable of showing up? Do we have truth and clarity? Are we seeing reality as it is? Or are we seeing it out of the eyes of fear? And is this stopping us from facing whatever we need to face? And because we're really held back here, thinking the what ifs, And Spirit is saying, it's out of your hands, child. This is all about the universe taking the wheel and shifting, because nothing stays the same. And so whatever needs to shift and transition is happening, whether we're fearful, ready, not ready, it's transitioning. And the transition is always the most awkward because we're still novice. And so we can either have a torturous transition where we're beating ourselves up and talking negatively, making it very painful, or we could just say it's happening anyway. Why don't I at least just not be my worst enemy? Because right now I feel like we're not showing ourselves compassion. we're just building up this fear story, and it becomes worse and scary. It's like when we watch a scary movie, if we really fall asleep, we don't have the fear. But if we stay up, what if there's like zombies out my window and the monster comes through here, and like we start to build up and we're just like looking for those things and we start to see shadows everywhere. There's a need to just allow the universe to let us fall asleep, and maybe we can't sleep if we're too scared, but then that's because we're keeping those thoughts alive. But really, it's nighttime. We're tired. It's time for bed. Okay, so to me, this is all talking about the universe wants natural progression. It's very natural. Transition is natural. Release is natural. Death is natural. New beginnings are natural. Movement is natural. I feel like whatever's happening here is actually not natural. There's a resistance and a fear and a dragging of feet and creating all sorts of blocks and obstacles based on an inner dialogue that sounds negative or that is projecting what I think I am and not. And I start to believe it. No, it's not what you are. Okay, so beautiful angel, this could be imposter syndrome. This could be just a lot of anticipation about the what ifs. This could be anxiety about starting something new with a relationship, starting a new project, requiring us to be a different version of us, maybe a better version, a more matured version, a more exposed version, a more vulnerable version, or just create something that puts us out there that we've never experienced. And so we're sort of wobbly, and it's okay to be wobbly, but don't let it stop you. Okay, so beautiful angel, this is your reading. I love you very much. I hope this helped you, and I will see you at the next one. Bye-bye.